tremendous looking trophy.
Hello and welcome to PlayStation, number one PlayStation podcast that only records once a week. My name's Dylan Blight and joining me, Asher Hobley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here recording an episode of Platinum Explosion.
That's right. So in case, well, no, I assume, if you listen to podcasts, you wouldn't know because there was no episode last week. We did tweet out, of course. So what happened was we recorded the episode and then the video file on my end got corrupted, so I only had Asher's audio. Look, I'm going to be honest. I'm just going to put it out there now. I wasn't too annoyed. Like, I've got really upset, like pissed off before. Like, I kind of was like, I had that initial reaction of like, fuck. And then I said to myself, I was like, if this happens, like we record so many shows, so many podcasts, things are bound to go wrong, one out of however many. I was like, it's fine. And then after that, I was like, it's fine. Woosah. That's like,
it's probably for the best. I mean, some of the stuff you said on that episode, it's probably best that it never saw the light of day.
Would have been cancelled, that's for sure.
Pretty bad. Like, I mean, you did talk a fair bit about women's breasts. So
it's not even a joke. I did. That's true. I don't know if I should even give context for where that fit in, but or will I keep you guessing until I bring it up at the same point? No, I'm not gonna. I can't do the same. I can't do the same bit. It won't work. It was funny in the moment.
We'll see.
Okay. But it has been. Of course, we recorded. We originally it worked out last week. We delayed the episode by a day to talk about the state of play, and then the episode shot itself. So it's still been.
PlayStation didn't fuck us.
No, we fucked us.
OBS fucked us.
Yeah, OBS. Yeah, fuckers. But I mean, it's been a few days since we recorded to the point I can't really remember anything we talked about, which is probably helpful. So, because we have previously recorded straight after an episode shot itself, and that's feels like you're.
Oh, that's always fun.
You feel like you're in a time loop. So.
Because I want to make sure my material is retained. Whereas you'll just want to weave and go in different directions.
Yeah. I want to try new things. You want to do the same things. So.
It's about a rehearsal.
Yeah, you're yeah, you did the rehearsal. Yeah, that's it. Something we didn't talk about last week. That's happening right now, live as we're recording. Because I'm just gonna put it out there. Context, because I need to give it. We are recording this week's episode on Sunday night. Okay,
so even earlier than usual.
Even earlier than usual because I can't wait to record it at our usual time because I will be away for a couple of days. So we are recording this week's.
It was either record early. Or Kieran comes and does the show.
Yeah, so look, it's very obvious. Obviously, I had to do it early. But what's happening right now, Sunday night, as we're recording live, is a bunch of Grand Theft Auto footage has just leaked all over the internet. People are going crazy. I don't really have too much to say because the more interesting thing to me is people's reaction to this rather than the gameplay itself, I guess. But so. Press Start writes here. Where'd I go? Shannon writes, this is either one of the most significant game leaks of all time or one of the most elaborate mods we've ever seen, but either way, it's insanely fascinating. Just moments ago, over 90 videos and screenshots, some more than a minute length appeared on GTA forums, the largest Grand Theft Auto website, claiming to show off our first look at Grand Theft Auto 6. Several of those videos can be seen in tweets, and then below videos have correlated them. The gameplay footage and screenshots perfectly match what had previously been leaked about the game, showing off a Latina female protagonist who appears to be named Lucia, surely. Her male sidekick, who appears to be named Jason, going off the footage. The gameplay footage appears to show off a modern-day Vice City, but given the mix of it, it's hard to say for sure. The gameplay footage ranges everywhere from in-mission gameplay to character animations and a huge variety of locations, including a downtown, city location, a strip club, stores, and more. One of the most telling parts of the footage in particular is a particular cutscene that has a poolside conversation between the male play character seemingly named Jason, as well as two NPCs that has full voice acting. I'm not going to show any of this footage on the video version of Platinum Explosion because I can guarantee within the hour or right now as we're recording, Rockstar has its lawyers looking to pull every single thing from the internet completely.
Should they though?
Yes. So here's my
but is it that thing that if you pull it, you go,
confirm
it's
it?
real?
I feel like most people would know this. Like it's too elaborate to be a hoax, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's way too much. It's not like
or
10
is it?
No. It's not like 10 seconds that someone managed to put together. Like it's a lot. So a lot of people
then tomorrow it's like grandest Theft Auto 6 coming from indie devs.
Imagine. I think I don't feel so there's nothing that's good about this, right? So this is the boiled down of it. Nothing good comes from leaked gameplay like this. So it fucks over the devs, and then it fucks over anyone who cares about the game franchise and stuff. Because looking through Twitter, just like clicking on the hashtag GTA 6 or whatever before, you've got people left, right, and center. Oh, it looks pretty shit. Oh, the animations are bad. Oh, like all this sort of stuff. Like it's
unfinished pretty clearly.
It's a unfinished, probably pre-alpha or alpha or whatever gameplay that you were never supposed to watch, and everyone's critiquing it. It's very weird, is how I would boil it down. So, yeah, I don't feel like there's anything.
It's really, like critiquing a movie based on footage of them filming them making the movie,
which people do all the time. So.
That's true.
Remember that footage of Batman on the motorbike, like riding through a cemetery, which was actually like one of the final shots of the movie, and everyone was criticizing that, saying it looked terrible and stuff. So, yeah, happens all the time. Yeah. What I don't know. What do you make of this?
Yeah, it's probably real. It's it's rough. How they're. Yeah, at least it's being made. We know that for sure. They're reasonably far along. I mean, it kind of looks like GTA 5. Maybe a little bit prettier. Some of the environments look better than, I guess, the city in Grand Theft Auto 5 looks like. But yeah, I mean, we knew it was coming. This is footage. I mean, it's kind of interesting from like a game dev perspective. I mean, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, like how, like, even just the simple stuff, like how they measure the recoil on the guns and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, there's certainly interesting stuff there, but I don't think the layman gamer who's excited for GTA 6, this does much for them.
No, I don't feel like this gameplay would do anything for anyone because it's pretty average looking because it's fucking leaked pre-alpha footage. So,
on the other hand, I don't think it's going to affect people's interest in the game.
No, not at all. But I still think
I don't think people are going to be disinterested in the next entry in the highest selling gaming franchise of all time.
No. I don't think it affects the franchise. I just think it's just... You're now going to have a bunch of fuckheads like making YouTube videos, like pulling apart this for clicks and talking about every frame like this and critiquing it. And it may sound like I'm exaggerating, but I guarantee that's exactly what you'll find all over YouTube in the next 24 hours. Yep. Everyone's going to be looking for their big hit, and there's going to be all these fuckboys with the big clickbait thumbnails with their shock faces or big titles saying, oh, GTA 6 looks bad, and, like whatever else, or woke protagonist because you're playing as a female, and, all these things. This is what it's going to be, so I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting that it leaked. I have no idea how it leaked. That's probably most interesting to me is just how, what, when, why sort of scenario that something like this to this magnitude leaks. Because it's one of the biggest gaming franchises of all time, probably one of the most anticipated sequels at the moment. And it just leaked all over the internet. So it's weird. I was finishing work and I look on Twitter and all I see is everyone just tweeting, man, nothing interesting happening in Games World today. Variations that making memes. I'm like, what happened? What happened? So yeah, so that was a interesting way to kick off Sunday. And I was going to say, originally, I was like, it doesn't really matter that we have to record this on Sunday because I highly doubt anything else is going to happen after the State of Play and Tokyo Game Show. I assumed, and it probably might still be, but I would have assumed it would have been a quiet games news week after TGS and State of Play and Nintendo Direct last week. You'd assume it'd be quiet, but now we've got a Rockstar leak, so you can never be too sure what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into the State of Play. Dukes.
What happened?
What happened? We've never talked about it before. All right. Overall thoughts. Just do that again.
Yeah, good for a state of play. Obviously, very focused on Japanese studios. A couple of interesting titles there, but a lot of weeby games as well. And then, you ended on God of War, which, we weren't sure if it was going to be there, but they gave us a bit more of a story/gameplay trailer to get us excited for a game that's coming out in only 2 months' time. For sure. It is definitely coming out in 2 months' time.
Yeah, so it's Bayonetta. So
you don't announce limited edition controller if the game's not coming out.
No, why would you do that?
Yeah. Surefire sign that's coming out.
Yeah, I thought it was a good state of play as well. Let's just quickly flicker through to remind myself what was even in this. Yes, no, I did think this was a good state of play. It's been a few days.
Memorable. That's the word I could describe this best state of play. Everything was memorable.
Every single thing was totally memorable. I definitely remember everything that happened here. It's fine. But no, yeah, a few VR titles, mostly obviously Japanese focus because TGS, that's fine. God of War was a surprise to me. I didn't actually think we would see that, but that's cool. But probably I'll point out my favorite thing when we get to it. So we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. And also there's something else in here now that I can sort of link back to and say, hey, that's in retrospect. I'm more excited about this franchise now. So, and also, let's start with, they start with Tekken 6. Now, when we talked about this, 8. What the fuck did I get 6 from? Tekken 8 gameplay. So, and when we talked about this...
Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. The last time we talked about this, I was like, I wonder if this is gameplay and all this sort of stuff. Well, it's lucky we had to record the podcast because PlayStation Lifestyle writes, it's easy to think that the Tekken 8 state of play trailer looked too good to be true. That's exactly what I thought when we talked about it last time. And you won't be blamed for assuming that the reveal video is made up entirely of pre-rendered footage. Surely actual Tekken gameplay won't be running and looking that good when it launches on PS5 hardware. Well, according to Bandai Namco's Koshiro Harada, yes, it will. Tekken 8 director Harada has provided more details on what exactly viewers were watching during the state of play reveal. He has explained that it was taken from the work in progress story mode and was, quote, played on PlayStation 5. Continuing, in other words, all the character models, backgrounds, and effects are the same ones that are used in game, end quote. The Tekken 8 gameplay shown in the trailer was to, quote, showcase the quality of the game on PS5, end quote. Visuals highlights include the newly created playable character models, little details like how water droplets run down character skins, and dynamic weather like tornadoes and waves. What's more, Harada says that the work in progress build's quality is dynamically improving every day. We talked last time, so I mean that excites me a bit more because, like, I think if the gameplay looks anything like what's in this trailer, that's it's pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it looked like it was gameplay, except maybe a couple of small cut close-ups and slowdowns and that kind of stuff. But yeah, if that's how it looks, it's super impressive. I mean, not that the Tekken games recently have not looked good, but
no, I think it's just the thing that impresses me most is the dynamic backgrounds, the way that the water's interacting with the character models, and all that sort of stuff that was making me think it wouldn't be gameplay, but yeah, pretty cool. I would be keen to try this. Tekken's probably the only fighting franchise I really have any attachment to, because it's the only one I played as a kid. So keen to find out more. And I mean, look, sounds like it's a lot further along than maybe we thought. So I would assume we see this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I suspect next year, and next year. Yeah. Fighting fans are going to eat next year. That's what we're hearing.
Yes, for sure. Fighting fans will be eating.
It's cool. They've got like a Sephiroth tie in there somewhere as well. So,
look, if we go and record the podcast twice, just like take your jokes that didn't work last time and put them in the bin, right? Just put them in the bin.
That worked last time.
No, it didn't. It didn't work last time.
He's got one wing. He's a one-winged angel.
Fucking hell.
Who does he think he is? Kenny Omega?
Come on. I can't be fucked, but I'm going to change things up. Last time I did this, I'm just going to fucking do what I want this time. All right, so the next thing they had was...
Crazy. Unlike every other time.
Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge Enhanced was announced next. So they, this was, I'm sure, in a long list of things going to come, and we can talk more about that in a minute because that's definitely how it's going to go. Did
Tales of the Galaxy's Edge ever come to PSVR?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
For sure. This is a new version. Obviously, it's made for PSVR too.
It was only on Oculus Quest.
Okay, what was the other one then? There was definitely another one. I can't remember what one it was. There's another Star Wars one.
I mean, Vader was on.
Not Vader, something else, I think. It's like the Batu one? No, not Batu. Something like that. There is another one. The quick Google search is not not doing it. All right. Anyway, so we're going to get a mixture of games coming to PlayStation VR2 that we've never seen before, that have been on Quest and other platforms, I'm sure. And we're going to get a bunch of games remade or ported to the platform. So that includes a port we're going to get is Demio, which was the next thing we got, which is already on Steam. So it's a tabletop game. You got like moving miniatures. You're playing cards. It's like very visually interactive and everything. Looks very cool. I think, what did you say last time? It won the VR game of the year last year from...
I want to say Upload.
Upload VR. Yeah, which is probably the biggest upload VR site because they run their own showcase every year and everything. So, and for the sake of changing things around this week, let's fucking skip straight to talking about VR now. Let's take a pause in the state of play. Last time I did this backwards, but let's fuck around. PlayStation VR 2. Actually, put the intro music here, Dylan, motherfucker. Put the music here. Let's just fuck shit around.
PSVR for the players.
PlayStation VR 2 was at Tokyo Game Show, and we have Press Start's got a collection of quick impression pieces here. I'll read a couple of them now. So we didn't get to talk about this last time because it was like the day before Tokyo Game Show was going to kick off. So again, it's like we should have just waited. We should
have just not done an episode. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, should have just skipped it. So they say, Eurogamer said, wow, 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 wow. That's the word that keeps springing to mind when I try to sum up my time with the PlayStation VR 2 as a fervent fan of VR for many years now. It's safe to say that my first hands-on experience with Sony's upcoming headset wowed my VR-loving socks off. This sleek and stylish unit was all I could have wanted for an upgraded PSVR headset and much, much more. GameSpot says, as previously mentioned, PSVR 2 feels like an iteration on the original, which should come as no surprise. However, what I learned from my first experience is that these small, smart tweaks and additions are more significant than they may seem. At a time when virtual reality feels like old news, PSVR 2 feels poised to be a shot in the arm for it in the gaming space. It remains to be seen whether PSVR 2 will garner widespread interest, but at the very least, I'm more confident that they'll take us one step closer to realizing its full potential. Yes, a lot of what made it impressive for me was centered around visual fidelity, but seeing is believing, and in VR, the possibilities for what you can see are endless. And then Upload VR said, PlayStation VR 2 offers striking visuals, a noticeably wider field of view, and high-fidelity haptics. The reprojection issues is disappointing, but this is still the most impressive consumer headset I've tried to date. So all around, everyone's impressions of PlayStation VR 2, from every outlet that I've seen, I haven't seen anyone have major negative, like issues, small criticisms here and there, sure, but all around sounds fucking awesome, very exciting. Was you happy to see the positive feedback, I guess, from the first public showing of the headset too? So,
yeah, I mean, it's a good start. You know, I mean, it was expected that people would get a positive response. It would have been a death knell if, like, they're going, it's not as good as the Move controllers. That would have been pretty awful.
The bar's pretty fucking low. VR. So.
That if they didn't cross that bar, then VR might be dead. Yeah. But yeah, that was very positive news to come out of TGS, unlike the other news around PSVR that came out this week.
Yes. So, well, I don't know. Do you think? No. So
you gonna split up the VR segment?
No. You said it was not good news, but I'm like, I feel like it's not so bad. So, PSVR games will not work on PlayStation VR 2 is the big headline. And Michael did write into our Discord earlier, right before we clicked record. So that worked out well. He didn't even know we were recording tonight. So good job. 6 cents, Michael. But he said, did you expect the PSVR 2 to have backward compatibility for PS1 games? Did you?
I'd hoped. Just because, that would have been best for PSVR in general, like the brand in general, for it to have been backwards compatible. Purely because you have that catalog of games that you can go back and play, and people who maybe got PSVR, bought a bunch of games, didn't love the control schemes, would have gone back and tried it with a higher fidelity, better controls option. Titles like Iron Man VR and Moss and Arkham Asylum, Arkham VR, and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So
or even just Beat Saber. Day one is are you gonna have to buy Beat Saber again?
Well, this is the thing. But so this news came from the most recent PlayStation podcast where Hideaki Nishino, the Sony's senior VP of platform experience, broke the bad news. According to Nishino, because Sony designed the PSVR 2 to quote be truly next generation virtual reality experience, the headset has more advanced features when compared to the previous iteration. Because of this, developing games for PSVR 2 requires a different approach. I never expected them to work at all. I never, ever, ever thought that the games would work. What I am hoping and have been expecting is either up to the developers and up to the publishers at this point, but if you do a PSVR 2 version of Beat Saber, is it free for you if you already own it already? Or is it a simple couple $5 upgrade? You know what I mean? Now we're getting down to
It'd have to be an upgrade fee. Yeah.
Now we're getting down to the how much of the upgrades, who's giving free upgrades, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, I guess it also depends on. It just comes down to how much effort it's going to take to change. Because obviously there is a lot of stuff in the code that would be. They've made it work for the camera facing towards you, tracking the lights. So everything on that end has to be adjusted in some way. I don't know much about VR coding, but I assume that would require a fair bit of work.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's been ported to another system which uses something similar to what PSVR is about to use.
Yes, so that's what I'm thinking.
VR2, yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. So, yeah. So if you're not keeping up for some reason, PSVR 2 tracks the headset via the lights on the headset. The camera picks up those lights off the headset and the Move controllers, and that's how it uses your virtual space. PSVR 2 has a bunch of cameras on the front of the headset, and it's going to uses those cameras to scan your environment and the controllers and all those other things. And at that stage, I don't really understand how it works. However, that's how it uses its tracking. Now, that is similar to Oculus Quest, or the MetaQuest, sorry. MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest 1. So if any game runs on that platform, I'm not going to say it's quote unquote easy one-click button, but I would assume that it's easier to port anything that runs on that to PSVR 2 than a game that was only ever designed to run on PSVR 1, a la Iron Man VR, that only is for PSVR 1. I would assume that requires a lot more work to run on PSVR 2. Yes, that's what I'm assuming. And thus, this is exactly why I never expected the games to transfer straight over, because it is a completely different headset system. It is a completely different controller system. Like it's not a slight PS4 to PS5. Oh yeah, it's like, it looks a bit better, runs a bit better. These sort of things slightly adjusted, same sort of innards though, but it's more powerful. This is PS2 to PS3. You know, this is HD to 4K. I don't know. This is completely different.
It's VHS to DVD. That's what it is.
Yeah. It really is. Anything away from those Move controllers and that bullshit box with all the cords and the light tracking, it's completely different. So yeah, I understand it's annoying and disappointing. However, what do you want? Do you not want a better headset? Like, I understand. Yeah, it's annoying. You brought all these games. Okay. Too bad.
You had your chance. You played with them.
You played them. You're done. Do you want to play the better
version? You've still got your PSVR. You can play with them.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so that's about how I feel about it.
It's not a great, optically, it's not good for PlayStation. Even though it's very difficult, you would have hoped they would have found a way to make it work on the back end somehow. But obviously, it's not a great start, especially when we're probably going to be flooded with like you said, PSVR 2 enhanced versions of various games in the first 12 months or so. The people are going to be pissed off that they have to pay money for it again. Because that's what consumers are like. They don't care, but, they don't care how much work went into porting these games. It's the same game.
I'm about to buy Beat Saber for the third time, is how it's going to boil down.
It's what's going to happen, yeah.
And I'm totally fine with that. So
they deserve your money.
It's a very good game. if I get some free upgrades every now and then for some games, that'd be nice. If I can just pay for a nice, I don't know what the price is, depends on the game. I think it shouldn't just be one fee. But if I can get some like not full priced upgrades, like if you already own the game, you can get it cheaper, $15 or something for an upgrade. That'd be great. I feel like that's the meeting in the middle. That's similar to what you have happening for PS4 to PS5 games. So,
do you reckon this is why they haven't been putting many PSVR titles as part of PlayStation Plus?
no, I just don't think
They've known this for a while.
Yeah, I just don't think they've ever put many PS titles on PSVR. On PlayStation Plus. So yeah. Talking about games, they'll become PSVR 2 and they'll be better than they were on PS. They are though. Firewall 0 Hour was one of my favorite games on PSVR, and now it's getting a sequel. It was announced last week on the PlayStation blog. Firewall Ultra. It is apparently set 5 years after the original game. It's going to use some of the same characters / contractors as they're called. It's going to use some of the same maps, however, they'll slightly have changed. Yes, what is this face?
Was there some sort of plot to justify
there's
why it's moved ahead 5 years?
There is a plot. There's no story mode, obviously, but it's one of those games where there's like, you can find shit to read and there was like, if you cared. I never cared, so I have no idea what the plot was.
5 years now they'll have ones that go like 5 years ago. There was a bunch of people who like shot shit up.
I have no idea. But yeah,
nothing but peaceful.
They're going to use some of the same maps and update them, add new maps and all these sorts of things. The major dot list of cool features coming to the game are finger touch detection, because of course you've got the brand new controllers, adaptive triggers, eye tracking. The eye tracking is interesting. I wonder how they'll actually use that again. Foveated rendering, 1010 FOV, fast loading times, which is a funny dot point every time I see it. 4K HDR and haptic feedback. I'm really excited. It's probably one of my most anticipated PSVR 2 games now, because Firewall 0 Hour was a lot of fun. As someone who, I wouldn't say this genre in particular, because this is like you must communicate hardcore tactical shooter is something that I would say I'm a massive fan of genre-wise. However, for some reason, playing it in VR just made it so much better. I don't know. Like I could never sit. Like I've never really had a big interest to get into like some hardcore Rainbow Six or something like that where you've got to coordinate with your team and stuff. But playing in VR where you're moving around and you're like hiding behind corners and you can say to your teammates like, there's a guy that just ran past me, he's going this way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just add something to it, I guess. So, very cool. Very excited to get my hands on that for sure and learn more about it. So they did have a quick gameplay reveal trailer, but I say gameplay, it didn't really show too much to be honest, but did show a couple seconds of someone holding a gun and stuff. But yeah, keen to learn more. That is for sure. Let's flick on back to the state of play. Yeah, doing it wild. Hogwarts Legacy was the next thing that showed up here. They showed a new trailer for the PlayStation exclusive horror movie level thing within the game. Yep. Hogsmeade. I don't really care. I think you said you don't really care either. It's a horror thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent on the game. Yeah. What is interesting is people are using this as an example of PlayStation not being for the gamers and not having the big gamers' best interests at heart, because they're keeping exclusive content for PlayStation. After comments they've made about the Xbox being against the Xbox acquisition. I feel like people don't understand that generally with these kind of things, they're not. This imagine wasn't content that was originally in the game.
No. Most of
PlayStation's like, hey, can you make something exclusive for us?
Yeah.
Well, as part of a marketing. They went, hey, let's just do some random scary shit involving Hogsmeade in a shop.
So I'm sure there are cases where that isn't true. However, from what we know from the majority of exclusive mission stuff that you will find in like PlayStation, Xbox exclusives, the stuff, quite often they are made for after the platform PlayStation, Xbox requests them, and that's quite often why these missions are only around 30 minutes or something very short, because they're
very short, yeah.
Very short because they're just made
generally inconsequential.
Yes, 100%. So
like Spider-Man in the Avengers.
Did that come out?
Yeah,
it did. Okay, right.
He's a character. He doesn't have like his own storyline or anything. He's just
there.
Players.
Yeah, okay. I completely forgot that was a. Yeah.
I know most people did.
Next thing we got in this state of play was a trailer for Like a Dragon Ishin. So this was a game.
Setting a trend for the weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of Like a Dragon, a lot of Yakuza, and a lot of Yakuza-like games. Hey, I said Yakuza-like, not the franchise.
You said Yakuza first, and then said Yakuza-like.
Just shut the fuck up. So the game was called Ryu ga Gotoku Ishin in Japan, which it never released outside of. It was initially released on the PS3 in 2014. It's a spin-off for the Yakuza. It's at the time it was called Yakuza. Shut the fuck up.
The time it was,
okay.
well, in Japan it was called Like a Dragon.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Jeez. In 2014 in America or Australia, if you were talking about the franchise, you would have said the Yakuza spin-off that did not release here. Would you have not? Would you have not?
Yes, but we're in
So
2022.
so this game is now coming to the West in February 2023. So it is a samurai Yakuza game.
Thanks, Ghost of Tsushima.
Thanks, guys. So literally thank Ghost of Tsushima. So that's what I was saying before. So after this event, now if you listen to Arcade Couch that came out a couple of days ago for the week, talked about on 2 days ago, Monday. This comes out Wednesday. I talked about on there how I watched the whatever the studio's called. I fucking RGG studio event thing. And I watched that and I watched them talk about all the Yakuza Like a Dragon game stuff. And then they shut the fuck up. And then I'll explain Ash's bit in a minute, everyone. That's fine. Just calm down. I got really excited and they talked more about this and they talked about how that it was actually the reason this game never released in the West was because they thought no one would care about it because it is about Japan and Japan's history and, you know, all this sort of stuff. But then after the success of Ghost of Tsushima, everyone was like, oh, apparently people outside of Japan may care about our history as well. So let's release it. So that's what they're planning to do. But the thing that, if you don't know, the thing that Ash keeps giving me shit about is because they've now said that Yakuza is dead as a franchise name because in Japan, the series has always been called Like a Dragon. In the West, because
Yakuza are actually there and they don't like
their name being they don't like Yakuza. Yeah, their name, the Yakuza being used anyway. They don't want people to know that the Yakuza exists, even though it's a well-known thing. It's fucking dumb, is what it is. Anyway, don't come for me, please. Don't hurt me. I can never go to Japan now. They don't exist. But yeah, so they don't like you saying the Y word. So the game was called Like a Dragon in Japan. However, in the West, because they were like, the Y word doesn't, they don't exist there. They're called the mob.
They can't read English. That's what they're like.
So we'll call them over there Yakuza. But now because the games going forward are all going to just be worldwide, they're doing this whole thing. And they started it with 7 with the last one. They worldwide releases, no more of this, 6 months later after it's already out in Japan thing. No more spin-offs not coming out worldwide. The plan going forward is, hey, this is a pretty massive franchise. Over the last 2 to 3 years, I'd say maybe it's got like really popular outside of Japan. Like I'm sure it had, like obviously it had a niche audience. Like,
it had fans.
I'm not saying like it's suddenly. It had fans for a long time, but I'd say like mass popularity has blown up over the last 2-3 years to the point that they feel comfortable now saying we're going to give you our spin-offs. We're going to give you worldwide releases at the same time, and we're not going to even bother dubbing the game anymore. We're just going to straight up put the game out. It's in Japanese. You've got subtitles, and we're going to ditch calling it a different thing for you. It's going to be called the same thing everywhere, which is called Like a Dragon, which is why Ash keeps giving me shit for calling it Yakuza. There's that whole bit explained, everyone. I hope you're happy. But the other thing is that I'm definitely playing. I have to say Yakuza because it's fucking cold at Ash. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to be playing Yakuza Kiwami soon. I was going to play it the other day.
Just rebrand them all.
If they go back and change the title, but when I click on the PlayStation icon, it clearly says Yakuza Kiwami. So if they want to update the icon, they fucking can, and I'll call it something else. But yes, I will be streaming and playing that sometime. Yeah, I don't know when at this stage because, as I said, I'm in Melbourne for a couple of days for a work thing. But so when I get back, I don't know.
So never. Yeah.
So when I get back, motherfuckers, I was legit going to do it the other day, and then my fucking internet has been absolute dog shit the last couple of days. I just couldn't. So. These things happen. I can't.
They do.
My internet's fine like 99% of the time. It has a few days a year where it just I don't know.
Needs to take a break.
I don't know. Anyway.
Labor Day.
Like we all do, you know? Oh, we all
Do we though?
do. No.
Not here at the Explosion Network.
That's right. More quantity over quantity.
It's quantity over less quantity.
Quantity over less quantity. Yeah, that's right. What is grammar? Pacific Drive, the debut game from Ironwood Studios, got announced. It seems to involve an apocalyptic event where you're driving a car. In the post event, learnt that it is like the developer has called it a car roguelike. They used a better word. But anyway, it's a car roguelike. So it seems like you'll be driving and attempting to, I guess, escape this area or something like that. And then, like, I presume you're going to die a lot or crash or monsters are going to get you, some shit like that. And then you have to try again and maybe you get different upgrades. And I don't know. It looks kind of cool. I'm definitely interested. I don't fully understand what you're doing or what the problem is. But I'm down. I thought it looked pretty unique-ish. I can't remember what you said last time, so tell me now.
I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like a Knight Rider, but in like a post-apocalyptic kind of world.
Mm.
You know, with the talking car, they can do weird shit. You know, needs upgrades all the time.
Kit.
The players Dazzle Hasselhoff.
No, Kit.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Massive fan. I knew the game. Not Kip Sabian, though. Kit, the car. That's right. Yeah.
Kit.
PlayStation Stars then got talked about for a bit.
It's a road-like.
Road-like. That was the good bit. Road-like. Very good. Thank you.
Very smart.
Yeah, very smart. Appreciate it. So we then got a brief update on the PlayStation Stars rewards program. So this is the thing you'll be able to like earn and unlock through trophies and whatever else. You can showcase them on. So I did a little bit more reading after last time we talked about this as well. So I've nothing but the only benefit of re-recording stuff is I learn a bit more.
You're more informed.
More informed, yeah.
Not talking out your ass.
Not talking out my ass because we recorded like the same day. So you will be able to at launch. So this is rolling out now in Japan first, and then like this month, and then it's going to then proceed to roll out. They didn't say exactly what order. Anyway, but it's rolling out slowly around the world from now. So we'll get it at some point. I'm sure we'll wake up one morning and they'll be like, "Hey, this is out tomorrow in Australia."
Depends if they're going clockwise or anti-clockwise.
It depends if they decide we're part of Oceanic Asia territory or Europe on the complete opposite side of the country like they do half the time. Dumb motherfuckers. Look at the map. Honestly, look at the map, you fucks.
Blame the British.
It's literally like 4 hours to Japan or whatever, and they're like, put us next to fucking England.
Yeah, we're part of the British Empire. So
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
God save the king. Don't get me started. Still on TV. It's still on TV. I just fuck off. Just fuck off.
I mean, hopefully by now it will have stopped, seeing as the funeral just happened.
All I know is...
Although I assume the coronation's going to be soon, so that'll be a big thing, and that'll be on the TV.
This motherfucker...
but yeah, check out the most recent arcade couch between the cushions to get our initial reactions to the Queen die.
Here's my post reactions. This cunt is the daftest, most spoilt prick I've ever seen get his first job at 70. That motherfucker. He's a fuckhead, isn't he? Like, honestly, here's the thing. Everyone's lining up at the moment. Oh, the Queen, we love to. I'm like, I understand people love the Queen. All right, whatever.
There's a lot of people queuing up for the Queen, and then a lot of people queuing up for Crunchyroll. They're not sure which one's
when he dies next year.
The right line.
After fucking, I don't know, choking on a peanut because his fucking maid forgets to pat his back because I'm sure that's apparently he has toothbrush put on his fucking toothbrush.
His food isn't chewed up.
Yeah, and spat out like
before they baby bird.
Yeah, because that sounds like something that actually happened with this motherfucker. Yeah, when he dies because of these things, I guarantee he's gonna have like 4 pricks show up on the road to say goodbye to him because I don't know who'll care. Anyway, there's my no one cares about this motherfucker. Fucking God, Jesus Christ. Anyway, what was I talking about? PlayStation
Stars.
Yeah, right. So you can put it on your app. If you use the app at first, that's how it's going to work at launch. You'll be able to put things and like showcase, have a showcase thing on the PlayStation app if you look at your profile and show off like cool things you've unlocked in there. That will come to PlayStation eventually, but it's not going to be there at launch. It's going to be via the phone initially. So. That's still pretty cool, I think, and I think the last time we talked about it, we agreed that these the things literally look like they're ripped from Astro's Playroom, the ones they show off in the video, that's kind of a good thing because of course everyone loved looking at those. So but yeah, highly detailed models of stuff you can hopefully like press buttons and interact with and show off. And it's just a bit of fun. I have no problem with this.
Bit of fun.
It's just a bit of fun.
And the other key thing is this isn't all of what PlayStation Stars is. It isn't just
no. This is just
collectibles.
an element.
This is part of the program.
Yep. Part of
Also not NFTs.
Also not NFTs.
Very fungible.
Yes. Everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with the world in which you can earn a digital, like a virtual item like this, and everyone's like, oh, that's an NFT. I'm like, how fucked are we now? Come on. Jesus Christ. Next thing we got is Singularity. It looks like Titanfall, but anime. It's got mechs. I think that was about the summary of it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep. I mean, I'd play.
Looks like the girl from Overwatch.
Yep, that was the joke last time. I remember that.
Diva.
Yep.
That's her name.
There we go. Yeah, we didn't remember it last time, so we've improved. Stellar Blade was the next thing. So this was revealed initially as Project Eve at last year's State of Play in September, fittingly. So now it's called Stellar Blade. It is I just remembered what happened last time I talked about this. Is that I fucking forgot the bit. I just remembered. Okay, time. So this the combat looks like a Souls game mixed with a God of War game. I don't know if that means it's going to be hard or easy. I think it looks pretty cool. Ash, what do you think of this one?
Looks like a crazy weeb game, you know. Yeah. Not much else to go on, you know. Apparently it's about like the world. It's a post-apocalyptic world in which, you know, they're trying to restart the human race. So yeah. It's fine.
Cool monster designs.
Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. I'm keen to play
Other
it.
models are quite interesting.
Fucking hell. You motherfucker.
I was watching Alana Pierce react to it, and she said their boobs were just moving all over the place.
Who was?
In an unnatural way.
Who said that?
Alana Pierce.
Did she say that? So I'm allowed to say it?
Yeah.
I'm good now? Because last time you were looking at me like, Dylan, I'm not sure if you can say that. All right, I'll say it again. I'll repeat. I'll spend less time on it this time because last time I probably spent too much talking about the fucking boobs. But video viewers, look at what I'm about to show you. Watch this sequence here. This character here is talking. He's got a mask on. Cool. Now watch this. Watch the girl in the back. What the fuck is that?
Listen, that's how the human race died off. There's no boob muscles, so they couldn't feed any of the babies.
Okay. Yeah, I spent
no milk in there.
I think last time
that's why.
The anime boob physics in this game are fucking nonsensical is what they are. Every character in this opening cinematic takes about 2 steps and their boobs are like they're just fucking like wild animals.
That much. Just move a little bit.
But anyway, it's ridiculous.
Just so you notice.
I feel bad. Now that you say Alana Pierce has said it, I feel like I'm not.
I lied. She did say no.
You motherfucker! Anyway, yeah, the game looks good. Other than it's got weird fucking boob physics. I don't know what the hell's going on. It's weird. It's weird. I know what's going on. Rise of the Ronin was the next thing. So, action RPG PS5 console exclusive coming in 2024 from Team Ninja. It looks open world. Looks fucking cool. Set in 1863 Japan. I'm keen for this. I think it looks very good. We're getting a sort of, it's the year of the century?
Edo period?
No, I was about to say, it's like we're living in like the century of the fucking samurai games at the moment or whatever, but.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but Edo period, I believe, is where the game is set. Yes, it's a.
Yep.
But yes, I'm very keen for this. I think.
I mean, it makes sense that there's so many samurai games when, you know, Dark Souls is the massive, you know, Soulsborns are the massive franchise at the moment. Anything with a sword.
I think it was sword. This game has
will
guns.
be very popular.
You know?
Well, this one does.
That's true.
You know? So it's kind of like Dark Souls meets some other franchise that it's very similar that would have guns in it. Doesn't Bloodborne have some guns in it?
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I was just about to say I played, and I completely forgot until a second ago. I was playing a demo for I played. That's right. Fuck. I'll add this in now. This episode is just a fucking. Let's talk about Let's talk about the gaming segment at the top of the episode.
Screw structure.
Screw structure. I'm doing a voice episode last year. It's all over it. Anyway, I played about half an hour of the Wolong Fallen Dynasty demo. That is Team Ninja's latest game that they got coming out. The demo. It's very much I would say I only played the demo of Neo. I've never played any of the actual games, but it seems a little bit less convoluted than Neo. It's got a bit more stealth elements in it, at least than what I thought of. It seems fine. Like, obviously, it's still that Souls-inspired setting and stuff, but again, it's set during the same period as... I got reminded because I'm pretty sure it's set during the Edo period as well, so that was my random reminder. But combat is fast. I was having a good old time. I was playing for about half an hour. Then I was like, oh, there's a giant wolf thing down there. Let me go see if I can fight that. It fucking pounced on me out of nowhere and killed me in like 2 hits. I was like, yep, certainly is a Souls-like. Good times. So
I love it.
Yeah. So I did play that. That was kind of cool. But yeah, I'd say I'm more interested in the Team Ninja Rise of the Ronin because Team Ninja, unless they decide to fuck around with the formula, don't. So far, this game, Rise of the Ronin, should, and could most likely be a just straight open world action RPG, not a Souls-like action RPG. It's a game that Ash would be more interested in playing than Wolong. It would be my assumption. I mean, Team Ninja makes, hack and slash fighting games. They don't make, you know what I mean? They make
impossible play video games.
No, yeah. So, what do they put out? Bayonetta, Astral Chain.
Team Ninja don't do Bayonetta.
Not Bayonetta. Why the fuck did I say Bayonetta?
They've got Bayonetta on the mind.
Yeah, I do have Bayonetta on the mind.
Willing it into existence on PlayStation.
That fucking... No, don't say that. I'm just happy to have it. I'm happy to have it. Don't take it back. Please, I only just got it. Please.
Listen, we're delaying the game because we're porting it over to PlayStation 5 and want to release it at the same time.
I only just got it. Please. What the fuck was I thinking of? Not... Because I only recently got into the hardcore... What? I don't know. I guess Ninja Gaiden, but those games were like considered hard, but they weren't Souls hard, I guess. And then they only just got into the Souls stuff with Neo, but that's not really their thing. And then obviously they did Stranger of Paradise last, and that was like a mix of elements, but that game had difficulty settings. So like, I don't know. I feel like I would assume Rise of the Ronin, if they put out, so Wolong's supposed to come out next year. Rise of the Ronin's the year after. I would assume that if Wolong's their next Souls-like thing, then I'm assuming Rise of the Ronin is a just straight action RPG. So we won't really know for a while, but and then we closed on God of War Ragnarok, getting an official exclusive limited edition DualSense controller. Pretty hot.
Imagine if they had finished the state of play with just the controller of it.
I really thought they were, so...
Because they're like, hey, it's one more thing.
I really thought they were. Really scared me for a moment. But no, we got the first actual gameplay trailer that we've had for God of War Ragnarok in what seems 10 millennia. And it was a banger. Absolute banger. So now that, it's been days since this, have you gone back and rewatched it? Have you... Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I've watched it a few times. I mean, it's a good trailer, Get me excited. Play the next game.
Oh, I saw you was playing it the other day. What the fuck was going on there?
No, I wasn't playing it.
Was it your brother? Okay. I was like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, you really got hyped.
It, so
I was like, you really got hyped.
No, I didn't get that hyped. Yeah. Very keen, Obviously we get see a little bit of gameplay in there. Lots of different environments. Very, very pretty. Very varied. Enemy designs, it looks like. You won't be fighting like an endless line of trolls. We hope, fingers crossed.
I have to do that on Twitter every day, so I don't want that in my video game. So.
Yeah, well, at least in God of War, you can actually kill the trolls. Yeah, so, and then we Thor versus Kratos, the fight, which I'm curious to see where that's going to take place in the actual game.
Start the game, baby.
Could it be like that big opening? Would it be the companion fight to the Baldur fight at the start of God of War?
I'm hoping they have something like that, so I'm okay. But yeah, I've watched it only once more since we recorded last time, but on the big screen. Had to do that watch, It looks fucking great. The art direction shown off in this trailer, the varied locations, the different environments, the beautiful scenery, the different types of creatures from big to small ones. It looks fucking good shit to me. I'm very keen for this. I went from being like, oh yeah, like I'm definitely going to play it. Like, no, I went from the level of excitement was when it's like when we get to that week, I'll start be a bit more excited. But I didn't love the first game enough to be like, oh my god, I can't wait. Like, I'm sure when if they never put out another trailer, it would have got to God of War week, and I would have been like, I'm pretty excited to play God of War this week. You know, like just mild. But now that off this trailer, I'm like, fucking,
just give it to me.
Give it to me. You know, that's what. So it definitely was a as far as trailers go and getting you excited for a game. I have absolutely no complaints there. I'm very keen for this. I think it looks fucking I think it was just how different everything every second within the trailer looked, every different location and stuff like that. That's how much the different levels of like cinematic stuff happening and whatever else. That part with the wolves, I still keep coming back to that with the chasing the moon and the sun. I can never remember their names, but fucking
But yeah, it kind of raises the question of like where it's going to be. Where is it going to take place?
Everywhere.
You know, is it going to be this semi-open world like the first one was, or is it going to be a bit more leveled off, or you know, how much backtracking are we going to do? That kind of stuff, I guess, is hard to tell from this trailer because obviously you can just transport between different worlds, I guess, like they did in the first game. It'd be interesting. Are we going back to the lake?
I hope not.
But it's frozen over because, you know, it's Ragnarok and everything's cold now.
But still, I'm good. David Harbour will star in Neill Blomkamp's Gran Turismo film. Well, it's bleeding cool. David Harbour news is coming fast and furious today, as we have now learned that he'll star in Neill Blomkamp's Gran Turismo film for Sony.
That's the other franchise.
Jason Hole and Zach Balin wrote the script for the film, which is actually based on a true story. The film is the ultimate wish fulfillment tale of a teenage Gran Turismo player whose gaming skills won a series of Nissan competitions to become an actual professional race car driver. Not what I am sure most expected from a Gran Turismo film, but this is what we are getting. I'm going to be honest.
David Harbour does seem a bit old to play a teenager.
I don't think he's playing the teenager. I'm going to assume he's playing someone else. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say that he's probably not playing the teenager.
Okay, yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited for this movie. I think it's a pretty cool story. I can't remember if I said this last time we talked about it, but I think
so.
I think this story, this true story, is so much more interesting than some dumb just car racing movie with Gran Turismo plastered onto the front of it. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think this has potential. At least on paper, as far as I think people will laugh at this idea and think it's dumb, but I honestly feel like there's the potential here for this to be a really cool story. The fact that it's a true story and everything. I think it's on paper a cool story, heartwarming story about someone who takes the passion for racing in a video game to real life racing. I think that's cool, don't you?
Yeah. Obviously, it's a blank slate that they can do pretty much anything with. So. And then just use the Gran Turismo logo and music and like imagery to like enhance the story or like market it, you know. So yeah, I'm keen. Like David Harbour.
Yeah. I assume he's going to play like.
I think I read somewhere else he's going to play like a coach.
I was going to say a coach or something. Yeah.
To like help them actually drive actual cars.
Yeah. And David Harbour improves anything he's in, so. So cool. Did you play
Except Hellboy.
Except for what?
Hellboy. There was no improving that movie.
I never watched it, so I'm still 100% David Harbour appreciation rate in my town.
Yeah.
Let us know any comments, questions, concerns you've had about anything we've talked about this week. If you're upset we didn't have an episode last week, you can just forget that. I'm sorry. Just, save your tweet. You can head to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter to tweet at us. You can head to explosionnetwork.com/Discord to write in questions for the show like Michael did earlier, or leave and talk to us about whatever the hell you want over there. And if you liked this episode and thought it was worth $1, head on over to Ko-fi, explosionnetwork.com/support. Donate to help keep the lights, mics, and podcast website and news brightened and review hiking website explosionnetwork.com up and running. And until next week, remember that every trophy counts. And I did. Let me pull one last surprise for you. Spend the exuberant $6 to $7 to buy the absolute horrible Pet the Dog game that just came out, which is what happened after Ash. I'm not sure I'm breaking news for you right now. Remember that game? Press X for trophies? They pulled it off the PlayStation Store. It's not coming anymore. Anyway, that developer is now back. They've changed the game. It's now called Pet the Dog. Yeah, it has 72 trophies.
Is the dog called X?
No, there's a dog. Literally blank screen, absolutely trash, horrible JPEG image in the middle of the screen. You press X, the transparency goes off and on. Yeah, just press X 2,000 times, 71 bronze trophies, 1 platinum. Absolute dog shit, horrible waste of money. I had to buy it for the memes. That I would never.
Was the dog shit?
No. I would never spend that much money on a platinum, but because it was this big news story, I was like, oh fuck it, I better buy it. Better see if it is as bad as we thought it would be. And yes, it's terrible, but every trophy counts. Goodbye.